I'll pray. Let's pray. This is Gladys.
Thanks, Gladys.
Okay. Wuonwa kendo Nyasachwa waduoko ni erokamano ni yawnwa pinyno wuora. Awuora ineno kwan e meeting mar Jowes maditelnwa madimiwa rieko ma idwa puonjwa kawuono wuora. Awuora alami ka dhano e happy e nying Yesu Kristo Ruodhwa. Amen.
Thank you, Gladys. Yeah, we are being recorded. Somebody's asking me if we're recording this session. We are recording the session, and I'll hand it over to our speaker to go ahead. And I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. I know it's Mercy was supposed to be here, but so go ahead and introduce yourself and then go ahead and start. The floor is yours. You have about an hour, and then we'll have time for questioning toward the end. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Karibu.
Thank you so much for giving us the platform. Really value your business as CAC. And on this call, I'm Stacey Osanjo, and I'm using my home computer. I'm standing in for Benjamin Mugo, who will probably join us once it's free. And also Rose will also join us later in the call. Also with us from CAC is Masikura, who has been your point person in this administration of your MEPIP account. So I wanted to take you through a short presentation, but apologies again. There's something, since I'm at home, there's something I just need to tend to for like 5 minutes. Do you mind giving me 5 more minutes? Something, I just got a call for some delivery, then I'll be back.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
Thank you so much. Just give me 5.
Okay, thanks, Acheng. Ladies, I thank you for your patience, for your understanding. A lot of times we plan things as humans, and then life comes in the way, and then things happen, and we kind of run short. One of our past leaders told me being late is not acceptable. So I do apologize. My apologies that we are kind of starting off late, but I hope it has given us enough time to be comfortable, get your waters, stretch your legs, do whatever you need to do while we give Acheng the 5 minutes that she needs. She's also kind of has to stand in for somebody else who life happened for them. I'm not sure what happened, but that's the way things are rolling. So we'll just roll with it. The main thing is that we are looking forward to the knowledge that we're going to gain, that it's going to help us in all our investments as we strive to be more literal financially. These are all just little steps that we take with the little app that we have, the little options that we have. These are just additional knowledge that we gain. So we're hoping that the time we spend here is not wasted time, but it's going to be time that we're going to look back and say, hey, that when we need the information or we need the knowledge for what it is that we're learning, that we're able to use it and that it's going to come in handy when we need it. Because as all the kind of insurances we take, normally this friend in another place, somebody was asking, why do people take insurance? That it's people are taking insurance. It's not because you are wanting to be in an accident, but it's because of that unknown that nobody knows, because you plan for certain things and you want things to work a certain way, but the other things that come in between. And so something has to come in and kind of make you whole after things have happened that you did not plan for. So this is a good example of things that we did not plan for, but it has happened the way it is. And the good thing is that they have other people on standby to jump in for them. So as we wait for them to get themselves together, we're seeing practical examples of why people take insurances and the benefits of that. It may come a bit delayed, it might not be there right on time, but it gets there. So I'm knowing that at this presentation, at the end of the time today, it's going to be good knowledge and a good time spent knowing better new things and better things. Acheng, just let me know when you're ready. I just talk and rumble, so whenever you're ready, just let me know.
Okay, so I'm back. Thank you so much for your patience and understanding. Okay, so before we start the presentation, okay, yeah. So before we start, it's always good to just find out what your experience has been with us and why you feel the need to maybe move up from maybe to a loan guy. And what's your understanding of our products, basically?
So today being an education day, and I'm going to go first because I'm the one that knows the least. We know that we do have a loan guard with the insurance that we have taken with CIC, but we have no ideas. We have members that have things come across, but nobody actually has taken advantage of this loan guard that we as a group have. And yeah, I'm one of the newer. I'm one of the newer. Members of the board. So maybe I'm not sure, but we just kind of looked hurriedly in the past. We did not see that anybody had taken advantage of the loan guard, and I know that things have happened to people. So we don't understand. Personally, for me, I'm here to learn what the loan guard does, why we have it, why we pay for it, what it can do for us. So it is that seeking of knowledge is the reason why we are here today, and we're hoping that your presentation is going to help us. Like they always in America, they always tell it to me like you're telling a fifth grader. Whatever fifth grade is in Kenya, I can't kind of quite calculate it, but I'm thinking 6 + 5, maybe an 11-year-old, a 12-year-old. If you can explain it to me in that certain way, that if I come into the situation where I need it, I can use it. That is the reason why I personally am here. I'm not sure anyone else would like to say in this regard. If Acheng, you have time for this.
Would I have time for what exactly?
To answer.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. My time for you this evening is yours, so it's okay. All right. Okay. So I have a small presentation, but even before I start with the presentation, okay, first you can confirm if you can see my screen. Let's first start with that. Or disabled screen. I'm getting a notification that the host disabled participant screen sharing. So do you mind if I maybe share the presentation with you to share with the group?
So
Okay,
I've just changed that. So just go ahead and try and do it.
Fine. So are you able to see what's on the screen right now?
Yes, ma'am. CIC group loan guard presentation. That's what we say.
All right. So first of all, CIC group has deep roots in the cooperative movement. Basically, the largest base of our clientele, especially in CIC life, is the cooperative Saccos and just organizations like welfare groups that come together for the common good. So other companies have maybe government entities as their main clients, others have corporate entities. Ours is mainly the cooperative movement. While we also cater to other clients, we noticed that this is a very strong market and it has great good in the community, right? You can see how they make capital accessible to individuals who would otherwise not qualify for it in the other financial institutions. So we're very proud of our association with cooperative movements and also groups of people coming together for the common good. And that's why we're quite happy to see that you guys really fit the bill of our ideal client. Because again, it's a group of people who came together with a common goal to just better their lives. So when it comes to CIC Life, we tend to protect the individual, for instance, when it comes to life and their credit. So when it comes to the group life or individual life, it's basically compensation in case anything happens to you, whether it's an accident or maybe it's death. Because we are aware that individuals tend to have some economic value that they bring to the people around them. And therefore we try to just make up for that loss. So that's why we have for instance, employee group products that compensate employees in the event or their beneficiaries in the event of their death. And then we have the credit life facility, and that's where now your group comes in. Credit life basically protects organizations that give credit to their members, right? And from the history with your group, that's something that you guys are currently doing. So we realize that the basis of you giving out the loans is basically on the deposits individuals have, but you give multiples of that. And so if maybe a member passes away, there are two parties that might suffer. So one is the organization that give out the facility, because how will they compensate, make up for that loss, right? Because now the individual who was supposed to make the payment is gone, unfortunately. Or the family of the individual who took the loan, because the organization might have to come and like take up the facilities, like maybe the houses or like cars to kind of come up with the money to make up for the loss. So that's why we felt it was important to provide this product to protect both parties on both ends. And so we have the MEPI product and we have the loan guard product. Mercy, are you able to, is your network any better now? Okay, so maybe she'll get to me when she's in a better place to talk. Okay, fine. Then maybe I'll just reach you via text because I have some questions. But basically, the loan guard product is another of the, it's just one. So when we have credit life, we have multiple kind of products that we offer to our clients. Mainly
Aching, I'm sorry
to
interrupt you. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Were you trying to run a slide? Because we're only seeing one slide at this point.
Okay.
If you didn't turn it on, I'm not sure. We're just seeing the one page where it says CIC Group Loan Guard. We are just seeing the place where it says Loan Guard presentation, and the presentation has not started running. So I'm just making sure you're aware of that.
No, I haven't started yet.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just giving a background and some overview of what we do so that we can get into the nitty-gritties of the loan guard product.
Sure,
okay, so
I'll go ahead now.
Okay, fine. It's always important to seek clarity in the situations. Okay, so we can get to the loan guard basically. Okay. So loan guard is a credit life policy that's designed for medium to large creditors. Please forgive me for this part of the map if I was supposed to edit this. Oh, sorry, it's actually right. So loan guard is for large organizations and medium-sized organizations. MEPI product, on the other hand, is tailored for the micro and small creditors. So you'll find that we have clients who have very large asset bases of maybe even billions of shillings. And we also have individuals who maybe even just give out 5 million in loans in 1 year. So we've provided different credit life products for them to protect them, depending on the capacity. So I just need clarity on what the Sacco currently has. Let me just confirm that with Mercy because I believe it's a MEPI product. Yeah. So currently your Sacco. Yeah. So what you guys currently have is a MEPI product, which is also just a credit life policy, which works equally as the same as loan guard. So there are some key differences between the loan guard and the MEPI. For instance, I think maybe since you're on the board, there's someone who handles like the declarations and makes the payments for premium. You'll notice with the MEPIP, because it's quite MEPIP was designed for organizations that maybe give loans sporadically or maybe it's small amounts, So each time there's a declaration, each declaration is accompanied with a premium. So each loan you give, there's premium for that. Loan guard, on the other hand, you pay a one-off premium at the beginning of the insurance period. So the CAC Life provides loan and deposit protection against the following risks. This is both for MEPIP and the loan guard. Basically, say it's a credit life presentation. So have I confused anyone there? I know I've dropped a lot of key terms actually. Hello. Are we okay up to there? Maybe let me call on some participants. Kathy, have I lost you anywhere, Damaris? Okay, so maybe silence means maybe for understanding. But basically the whole point is CIC Life offers credit life. And then depending on the size of the organization, you can get a loan guard or a MEPIP, but both protect against natural and accidental death. and also permanent disability. And then now the loan guard has critical illness if negotiated for and retrenchment if negotiated for. So basically, again, the whole point of this product is to ensure that the organization does not go at a loss in the event of natural and accidental death and permanent disability. Those are the main two events we provide cover for, because we realize if you die, okay, if an individual dies, they would be able to pay the loan. Or for instance, if it's an individual who's a business person and they lose both limbs and they relied on both limbs, like both hands, to do their business, now they're impaired, they also are in a position where they're not able to pay the loan. So we offer protection against natural death and permanent disability. So in the loan guard product, there's also the provision of also covering critical illness and also retrenchment if it's negotiated for. Retrenchment is in the event, for instance, an individual is employed and the loan repayment is based off of their salary, right? Again, loss of income through retrenchment, and this is involuntary retrenchment, impairs the individual's ability to pay for the loan. So with that said, we do cover maybe 1 or up to 6 months repayment. So the individual is expected, the assumption is that within 6 months, our hope and prayer is that the individual will get a new job and they'll be able to continue with the loan payments. If not, they'll have figured it out to, try and make sure that they're not defaulting with the loan. Okay, so how do I, okay. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, so again, as I mentioned, your organization currently has the MEPIP product, which again, because of the size, is limited in what it can offer. And these are the riders that are offered under the loan guard product. So we have 30% of the loan or share balance subject to maximum limits. So for instance, if the group limit is 500K and you have a loan of maybe 3 million, 30% of that would be 900 if I'm not wrong. But if the limit is 500K, we pay only up to 500. We also have funeral expense. This can extend up to immediate family or extended family, depending on how it's negotiated for and the pricing and if both parties agree, and retrenchment as we discussed earlier. But this is mainly for the loan guard side. When it comes to MEPIP, it's mainly just covering against natural and accidental death and permanent disability. So the loans are covered on a reducing basis. If someone takes a loan for 60,000 to be paid in 6 months, we expect that the loan will reduce. So of course, if death happens in the 3rd month, we won't be paying the 60, right? And we also don't cover arrears and interest. So CIC Life is obligated to pay the principal amount only. So again, using the example of 60,000, by month 3, we expect after the end of the 3rd month, someone will have made 30K in payments, right? So we expect the principal to be at 30,000. Though we do understand, the claims team do understand the complexities of loans, and they also have the ways that they calculate, but basically payments is on principal. The claim benefit is paid on principal only. The maximum loan period we cover is 96 months. And loans are also covered automatically up to a limit of 20 million, after which the members are expected to go for medical testing. So basically, insurance is the business of transferring risk. You transfer the risk to us, we transfer the risk to our insurers. So of course, we're not taking this risk on alone, but this is mainly for the loan guard also. So individuals who pass the 20 million mark are expected to go for medical tests so that the insurer can confirm that they are covered up to the amount. So if someone takes a loan of 40 million, then the insurer can confirm that it will cover the amount above 20 million. So in the instances that the loan exceeds this limit of 96 and 20, they're taken to a separate group mortgage policy. Currently, the minimum entry age is 18 years, and there isn't a maximum coverage age because we do appreciate the fact that credit is given to individuals regardless of age. However, the sum assured for members older than 75 is capped at 3 million. And we use a higher premium rate because we are in the business of insuring lives. Therefore, we understand that the older you get, the higher the risk that is on our side. So we also have to protect ourselves. Also, it's important to note that the maximum coverage, sum assured number 75. Okay, so a good illustration of this is if an individual has a loan of like 5 million, we're only obligated to pay up to 3 million because that is the agreement we have with the client. Those are our terms currently. So the roles and responsibilities of your organization, when it comes to Loan Guard and MEPIP, they're all the same. We need to ensure that all member details are provided. So that's the full name. When you're making your declaration, give us the full national ID or passport, give us the date of birth and the full loan details. That is the interest rate used, the original amount, the day it was issued, and the term. And then also, we expect the Sacco to submit new member and new loan lists by the 15th of the next month. So if for instance, your organization, Jowes, provides loans to 5 members from 1st of, let's say, October to the 31st, you have until the 15th of the next month to declare that, because that's when we'll actually say that's a timely declaration. You know, those are the terms we have with you guys. If you extend past the 16th, then that is outside of the agreed declaration period. So in case any claim happens, we can't be held liable for that. And this is especially for the loan guard because all loans issued are automatically covered. So for instance, if a death happened maybe even on the 30th, right? And the loan was issued on the 29th. That is something that's paid. That claim is admissible on our end because we have already agreed with you guys that the automatic cover. On the MEPIP, we also encourage you guys to just stick to the declaration guideline of the 15th. If you can do it earlier, the better. And then also, the Sacco is expected to remit premium. So for the MEPIP guys, this isn't okay. So MEPIP doesn't have a key difference between MEPIP and Loan Guard. Loan Guard expires every single year. So the term runs from, let's say, first, just using an example. If you renew on 1st January, by 31st December, it will expire. And you have to have already started, we try to make sure we start negotiations 2 months in advance to renew. On the other hand, the benefit of the MEPIP product is that once you make that declaration and you pay that premium once, there is no need to renew. That member is on cover until the loan is fully repaid. So an example would be if someone took a loan for 5 years and they paid the premium once, there's no such thing as expiry when it comes to MEPIP. So you are on cover for the duration of the full 5 years because you paid your premium once. On the other hand, Loan Guard, you'll have to keep renewing. And so there's that risk of always being not on cover if the Sacco isn't as proactive. So we expect the organization to provide notice of claim to the insurer as soon as the event leading to the claim occurs, but not later than 6 months. Let me just illustrate this. If someone passes away in January, you have 6 months to notify us. Just give notification, then the claims team will guide you on the documentation that comes because we do know documentation takes time. And then also the Sacco's responsibility is to avoid concealment and misrepresentation. For instance, if you have a member who is 75, we already know we cap the sum assured, you can maybe declare at 16, they say member is 69. That's misrepresentation and concealment of information. So we also have exclusions when it comes to the cover we offer the client. So first is self-inflicted death occurring within 6 months of the effective date of the coverage. So in your case, that would be if someone commits suicide 6 months after taking the loan. That is something that it's something that's in discussion in the industry because people are starting to appreciate the impact of mental health. But for now, it's 6 months. We also have active participation in war. Passive risks are covered. For instance, recently, in the past few months, we've had a lot of civic unrest due to discontent with how the government is running the country. So if someone actually actively participated in the protests and they had a loan, that's and a claim occurred. I mean, if or let's say a death occurred and a claim was supposed to be honored, that was active participation in this political unrest, and that will not be covered. But passive risks are covered. For instance, maybe someone was leaving work and police maybe shot a bullet and the stray hit. That's definitely covered. We also have, we exclude loans granted contrary to loaning guidelines, rules, and regulations that are set by the relevant authorities, acts of parliament, and anything repugnant to public policy, and also your own guidelines. For instance, if a Sacco says they'll offer 3 times, but then there's one director who strong arms and they offer 6 times, that's definitely against the guidelines of your Sacco, and that's something we also exclude. An exclusion that is also important is aviation, other than as a crew member of a commercial airline or a private individual. You're flying for transportation purposes only. So if you are, for instance, flying back home and it's Kenya Airways, that's definitely something that is not excluded. However, if your friend has this Cessna and you just went on a joyride, that's an exclusion. We also have an intake of illegal drug or drugs not prescribed by a registered medical officer. If you're using medication, especially strong medication, like, we really hope that it is prescribed by a medical professional so that you cannot have an instance of abuse or misuse. And then also loan and deposit balance is not declared to CIC Life as prescribed. Earlier, I explained that as prescribed basically means that you have up to the 15th of the next month, right? But if you go past that, then, and then also, for instance, if loans are issued in February and right now we're in October and we have not received that communication or even notification that these loans are issued and here's the premium for them, and then a claim occurs, it wasn't in our books. So therefore, that claim can be declined. So always try and make sure you're always actively declaring your loans on time, paying premium, so that we can stay on top of everything. Okay, so this again was a loan guard presentation. The impression I had was that the organization was hoping to transition from a MEPIP to a loan guard, but MEPIP also, so I could try and find a MEPIP presentation, but again, MEPIP also has its pros. So for instance, a key pro I described earlier was the fact that a single premium covers the whole risk up to its expiry, right? On the other hand, a con for MEPIP will definitely be the capacity. Loan guard is very flexible. You can go up to 20 million. And we have people who take higher amounts than 20 million. However, when it comes to MEPIP, the limit is definitely a bit lower. Additional loans in MEPIP are added on cover once we receive notification and premium calculation is confirmed. I'm sure Mercy has shared a calculator with you guys, and you have received an indication of how to use it, right? So once you calculate that premium, right, and you pay it, and we confirm, then that individual is automatically added on cover. And then again, also this also stands with MEPIP. We have no minimum entry age. However, there is a maximum coverage age when it comes to MEPIP. I believe it's 75 or 80, one of the two. MEPIP doesn't have a funeral expense rider, but a key pro for safety that we keep our word and honor all claims so long as the loans are declared on time. Again, MEPIP is we only cover those two things. When, on the other hand, loan guard can be negotiated depending on the taste of the clients. Yes, so basically, MEPIP covers, again, MF is just an alternative of MEPIP, but for the corporate clients. But this covers the loan for the entirety of its duration. And then, oh yeah, MEPIP, another key advantage of the product you currently have is that if, for instance, let's say someone like Mercy takes a loan and is charged 5-year premium, but she pays it in 2 years, the organization can ask for a refund for the 3 years unused premium. So we process that, And we can factor in that for the next premium payment, or we can refund it to your account. Yes. And then the grace period doesn't apply to you guys because, again, when you pay the premium, it's for the entirety of the loan. You don't have an expiry period. Oh, yeah, and that brings me to the end of the presentation. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions, so I'd like to take the floor back to the chair and, yeah, ready for the questions.
Before we take your questions, I just want to say thank you again for your presentation. I'm sure the ladies appreciate it. And ladies, if you have questions, definitely let's go ahead and you can unmute yourself. Just feel free to ask questions that you have. So I see a question from Damaris on the chat. Damaris, do you want to ask it or would you like me to just read your question? I guess for her typing it in, that means normally Damaris is very brave and she has no problem asking the question. But her question is, where can we get the calculator?
That can be shared immediately after the meeting. Yeah, that's something that can be shared. I can give it to Mercy, but I'm not so sure Mercy has a copy of it somewhere. So that can be shared immediately after the meeting.
Thank you. And with that being said, are you going to also be able to share your slide with us so that we can share with the rest of our members who are not able to make it today? We're able to let them go through that slide too.
Okay, what I'll do, because again, I realized your organization is basically on the MEPI product. I'll create one for the MEPI. Is that okay? Then I can share
Sure.
that with you as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. That'll work perfectly. Thank you. Any other questions? Let's take advantage of this while Acheng is here so she's the expert and she'll be able to fill us in.
As the members think of questions to ask, the general overview of the product is that basically, first of all, it's a good product for your organization, Jokanyanam, and it basically means in case of death or disability, you will not be in the red because we will reimburse you for the balance that the individual has. So the most important thing is just keep regularly declaring your loans and paying the premium. Yeah, and you guys will be okay. The administration isn't as complicated.
So my question, I don't know whether you covered this. What if like somebody has a loan and they become disabled where they're not able to work and pay back their loan? Is this something that the
Yeah.
loan guard would also cover, please? And
Yes,
what are
that is something.
what are the steps to apply for this?
Okay. So basically, again, if the disability affects individual's ability to reimburse the organization for the capital that they received, then what you can do is initiate a claim process. So you basically just send an email. Mercy will give you the claims email. You just notify them, first of all, that this member has this loan with you and they are currently experiencing a challenge. And then they'll just guide you through the process. They'll share a disability form with you, and you'll have conversations with them where they'll tell you, submit this document, submit this document. Disability is quite different from death, because death, they just need the certificate and maybe police reports if needed. But on the other hand, when it comes to disability, we need to verify. So we need doctor's reports, and it's quite lengthy, but it is a claim that is honorable on our end.
So just to fully understand that, so is it the organization that goes and puts in the claim, or is it the member themselves who reach out to Mercy?
Okay, so it will definitely be the organization, a representative from you guys, because this is a group life product, and we don't have a contract with Judith or Damaris or Mimi. Our agreement is with Jokanyanam, So even when the funds are disbursed, if it's for the claim, it's not sent to the individual, it's sent to your account as the group.
Okay, ladies, I'm hoping that me asking that question is triggering some of your questions. I don't see any hands up, but you're free to unmute yourself and ask. Chieng, can you help us?
Need help?
Oh, sorry, I was asking the other Chieng.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine.
Okay, so I see another question on the chat, and it is from Gladys. She's asking, can you go over again how CIC will assist in case of retrenchment?
Okay. So currently with the MEPIP, we don't have a retrenchment cover. That is with the loan guard clients. We have the main, okay, so basically how our products are designed is that we have the main risks we cover against. And the two main risks, which are definitely covered here with you guys, is natural death and the disability. Those are the two, because those are the two that we notice definitely affect someone's ability to pay a loan. So if you are on the loan guard and when we were doing the renewal calculations with you guys, you asked for retrenchment, we priced it, and you guys paid. And a member of your organization is retrenched involuntarily. It's not resigning. Someone is retrenched involuntarily. We noticed that when you lose your job, you're not able to pay the loan because the source of income was the job, unlike business people, right? So depending on how it was negotiated, some organizations or circles will ask for a repayment of up to 6 months. So for instance, if someone like Jane loses a job in March, right? Maybe okay, March, right? So her payments for the next, if the circle asks for 3 months, the next 3 monthly repayments will be covered by us. And the hope is that she'll have gotten a new job by then, or she'll have maybe discovered a new source of income that's not employment. So retrenchment basically also protects the circle from having cases of default because of losses through job loss.
Thank you so very much. I'm hoping that, in other words, you're also saying that us as leadership need to come in and renegotiate the loan guard we have and include some of these additional perks that a loan guard would have. Is it up to us to ask for them, or is it our representative that will tell us, okay, this is what is available and that good stuff?
So basically, I think Marcia has done a good job. She started with creating awareness. That it basically just starts with creating awareness of what's on offer, right? So what I know is when because there are actually qualifiers to determine whether a Sacco will qualify for loan guard, and the biggest is basically the size of the organization, right? So if you're familiar with how your account is run, the product you have, how it's administered, is that you issue a loan and then there's a calculator you use to calculate the premium. And that's what you remit to us at the end of the month with the declaration, right? So we noticed that would be a challenge for large circles that have maybe 10,000 or even 200,000 members. You can't imagine the sort of admin work that goes into trying to calculate premium for each and every single member every single month and adding them to the system. So what happens sometimes is we have circles that come to us and they're quite small. You'll find maybe their total loan book is even 2 million in 1 year. And then they grow in capacity and we'll be like, okay, here now we feel like you've grown enough to be a loan guard. And then from there, now is when they can start adding the riders. The biggest issue for us is currently, if we were to expand MEPIP, we've made it rigid because of the admin, basically. It's just, and also how the actual team on our side have done their own calculations and analysis, and they've only restricted it to the two covers, that's death and PTD. However, if you're interested in transitioning to a loan guard, that's where you guys can now have all those riders. You can negotiate for retrenchment, critical illness, funeral expense for individual and family. Yeah, and also a key issue I noticed with clients who want to transition from MEPIP to loan guard would be, because each time someone issues you issue a loan, you already know how much you're charging, right? But in loan guard, you're paying that premium upfront once. So how you'll have to do the calculations on your end to make sure that you have full premium for each renewal. So basically, yeah, when you transition to a loan guard, we can have a discussion with Mercy if you're interested. We can look at your figures and be like, okay, you guys have the capacity to become a loan guard, and that's when you can have all those other riders, retrenchment, FE, critical illness, on top of the two main that you currently have. But then also what you currently have is sufficient because it basically means that Jokanyanam is protected in the event of death or permanent disability, sorry.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Ladies, anybody, any other questions? I don't see anything else on the chat right now. Okay, well, we had the opportunity. Do you have any questions for us, maybe, Acheng, that you'd like to ask any of the ladies, maybe?
Basically, it's always interesting to just find out the history of the organization and what are the motivations, because that also will help Mercy and I determine how else we can better serve you. It's not just life insurance for the credit for your clients.
Definitely. Yeah, this is the organization. We do have a website at jokanyanamwomens.com that you can look us up. And with that being said, I'd like to invite you to be, if you're interested in joining our Sacco is open to any women who, it's a women's organization. All or most of our members come from the region of the Lake Victoria region and Suba region. So if you're part, that is one of the things, just because a lot of us, yeah, anyway, that's part of what one of the things that is part of our organization. It's all women led. Some of us are in the diaspora. We're all over the world, so we're open to getting new members all the time, and we'll definitely be also extend the offer to you also if you'd like to join us, and definitely see our region grow and see how we can become more literate as women and as members. We definitely strive to get different kinds of opportunities for our members, and that's why we, for instance, the loan guards, we're looking at different things like bereavement. We're looking at different things that we can do so that we can help our organization and help our members become more financially stable and to grow financially also. So those are different things that we work on. But we'll be happy to go into details. I'll definitely send you a flyer with more exact details, and you're welcome to join us anytime.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. Thank you so much. I appreciate seeing such initiatives. The whole point of coming from a certain region is also really beautiful. Because in our current line of work, we also deal with like organizations from all over the country. And I can see that the Sacco movement is quite strong in Central and Rift. And if you look at those regions, and because every single kind of group, Mercy can attest to this, every single group has an organization. You'll see Matatu owners, they have their own Sacco. I've even seen saloon people come together and create their own circle. So this is something I'd definitely like to see succeed and replicated all over the country, because it has, access to affordable credit is something that's very important. And also the community it generates with the members is really beautiful. So keep up the good work, guys. And yeah, you'll be getting a few emails from Mercy and I with the requests that you made.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the one thing that we definitely really try and push or offer our members are those low interest rate loans. Just it's very competitive out there, so we definitely offer that to our members and hope that they continue to take them and do all the different jengos and all the different things that us as women strive to do, and that sometimes we're not able to do in different capacities. So it's a good thing. More than that, we also offer a form of friendship among us. A lot of us did not know each other or have never met personally, but after this kind of a presentation, we always have this thing what we call mdomo therapy. That is when the women let their heads down and hair down, and they join, and we just chit chat. And out of that, after our official meeting is over, that is when we speak and talk, and a lot of initiatives have come out of our Mdomo therapy, because that's where people feel free. At this point, it's almost like it's only between me and you talking. I haven't heard anybody else's voice, but a lot of times after this, during the Mdomo therapy, that's when people, I'm not sure whether it's because we say the official meeting is over and we stop the recording, that's when we get off sometimes we do a Facebook Live when we're doing this presentation. Today we did not do one, but maybe normally that's the reason why people feel more free to join in and take and be part of it. So, ladies, if you do not have any other official questions, we could definitely go ahead and close. We're closing pretty early today, it's within the hour. And we're always welcome to stay for Mdomo therapy, and that's where jigombaka, if for those who don't understand, that's when story napigiwa sasa, so that's when we can continue with that. But before we do that, I'd like us to close with a word of prayer. I'm not sure if anybody's available. Rosemary, if you are available to pray for us, to pray us out, so that we can close the official meeting. And then if anybody else, if everybody is welcome for Mdomo therapy. Rosemary, are you available?
Let's pray. Yes, let's pray.
Thank you.
Our dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you so much for the presentation that we have listened to, my Father. Thank you for the new knowledge that you are giving us, my Father. And we ask that as members, that you will teach us to be able to take advantage of what we have learned, my Father. I commit the families of all the ladies who have attended the meeting and the families of all of us who are not able to attend the meeting. Thank you for this baby that you gave us, and now it is crawling, and we continue committing it into your hands, my Father, that it might be a vehicle which we use to empower ourselves. Please forgive us our sins, be with us now and forevermore. Amen.
Thank you so much. We've named her Pastor Rosemary nowadays. We ordained her for our Sacco. Thank you, Rosemary. You always do an amazing job. Thank you. And ladies, if you have other things to catch up on, you're welcome to go to close out. If you're ready, if you'd like to, you can put your cameras on. You can unmute yourselves. Karibuni. Rosemary, how was church today? Or maybe Pastor Rosemary did not hear me.
Hi, what did you say, Ngane? Sorry.
You prayed and you ran away. I was asking you how was church today.
That was good. In fact, I'm just cooking ugali now. That was very nice. We're having something called Family Life program, which talks about family. So it was quite interesting.
Oh yeah. Oh, Mercy, yeah, definitely. Mercy is asking. Thank you, Rosemary. Mercy is asking if you could kindly allow us to leave. Mercy, you're definitely, the official part of the meeting is definitely over. Those who would like to leave, are welcome to leave. And thank you for being here. We definitely appreciate you. I'll go ahead and stop the recording. Just 1 second. Do I have the host back again? No, I don't.
How do I do that? How do I share the host?
Hold on a second. Let me see if I can take it away from you. Oh, it's not.
Okay.
Thank you.
Or maybe if I leave, it will
Okay,
automatically
there.
go back
No. I've already claimed it. Let me go ahead and close the recording.
Thank you so much for having us. You'll get presentations soon.
All right, thank you. So as I said again, if anybody's, you're free to leave if you need to leave. This is just not. And
Change your hairstyle, go.
Cynthia, where do I stop the recording? That's my problem right now. Okay, record button, stop recording. Perfect.